Hey guys, welcome to Tiny House Customs. I'm Dan. If you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button down there. No, it's over there. It's over there. Depending what you're on. A mobile device, it's still there. Computer, it's still there. But yeah, click that subscribe button. If it says subscribed, ED on the end of it, you're already. Don't hit it again, because that means you'll unsubscribe. I'm almost at 1,000 unsubscribers. Isn't that cool? That's crazy. I remember when I had 1,000 subscribers. I've already lost 1,000. That's crazy. But anyways, in this video, I will be doing something. What will I be doing? I'll be putting a groove in the wood. So in this video, I will be putting a groove into all these things with a dado stack. I'd never used a dado stack before, but that's that. That goes in. If you want to jump ahead and watch this entire series, please consider going over to my Patreon account, which is linked in the description below, and making a small contribution to my channel. Give it a go test drive. Put it all in there in case explosions happen.
I hope it explodes in your face!
Now I'm going to put about a 3/4 inch groove in these boards, and I'm going to do it in 2 passes. So 3/4 divided by 2 is what? 3/8. Alright, so I got my dado stack in there, and I have a piece of my scrap cut off. Now this is the same width as these other boards, which need to get the groove put in them. So I'm going to run some tests on this, and what I need to have is my 3/4 inch trim sit inside of here. So I believe it's 3/4. If it's not, whatever it is, I need to get it to fit in here tight. So I did some math.
Oh, so it's gonna be f***ed up then?
And I figured out my center. I went over and made sure that this gap right here gave me enough on the side here. And I went in a little bit so that I can work up to the point. I might have to tap this over a 1/16 to get it good, but I don't want to do this. Make sense? So I also had to buy this feather board. Feather board's just going to keep pressure on this piece towards the fence. I set it up. It looks good. I just knocked it off of where it should have been. That's good. You dumbass.
Preach it, brother. Speak the truth.
So I brought this piece over to my 3/4 inch trim, and it was about, I'd say about 3/32 off. So I'm just going to tap this thing over just a hair. So this is going to be some of the wood that goes in between there, and that is perfect. It's a little tight right now, but I still need to sand these down just a little bit, so I'm going to go with that being good. Hopefully that don't move on me any. I'm actually really impressed with that. Alright, now that I have everything set up the way I need it to be, I can start putting the grooves in these pieces. Now the base is not going to get a groove because this is going to be the bottom of the door frame. There's going to be a bevel put on this, so I don't need to put a groove in this, so I'm going to put it to the side so I don't mistake it. Now the middle piece is going to get a groove on the top and on the bottom, and then the top and the bottom will just get one groove in the top and one groove in the bottom. That's redundant. You are redundant.
Don't forget that you're dumb too.
Alright, and then the 2 side rails, the 2 vertical pieces will just get one groove put in it. I'm really unhappy about this huge crown. The deeper I go into this, the more likely that this piece is going to chip off from the main piece. So now that I'm looking at this, I might just go another 1/8 inch higher and go about 3/8, ½ inch deep. What am I at now? I'm already at a half. I think I'm just going to go 5/8 deep, and we'll call that good. And you can see when I'm running through the dado stack, it's not perfectly flush right here. That isn't the end of the world because these are all going to get covered up. You're never going to see this right here. The reason that's happening, I believe, is that this right here is bending down while I'm going through the thing. And so it's dropping, and then when it comes out here, it raises up. And so that's what's causing that to happen, I believe. I could be wrong, but it's happening on both. I don't know why that is. That's got to be the reason, because I'm feeding it through a different way. And when I'm finishing out like this, I'm pushing down, and so it's pushing it up. That makes sense. To prevent that from happening, I need to put more pressure at the end of the cut so it stays on this little tiny bit of saw. That makes no sense. Good job. Now, since I'm doing a window up top, I know I labeled this one bottom, but I need to remove, basically I need to put the groove in it, but then I also need to remove that end piece, and then I'll screw something in there to close that up so the window will stay in there. So basically, if I do this right, this piece right here can get cut off. Once this door is done, it's going to be pretty rustic looking, so if some of this remains, it's not going to be the end of the world to me. So, you know, like this burn right here, that'll look cool to me. I mean, it's not, I'm not going for perfection.
Yeah, neither was your mother, because you're ugly.
I want my joints to look good, but I want the wood to look kind of aged and rustic. So now this is where my glass piece is going to end up going. This piece right here, I'm going to run it through the table saw with just a single blade on it, and I'm going to remove this piece right here, and then I'll cut a new piece that will match this dimension, because when I use the blade to remove this, I'm going to end up with a large kerf. And so if I were to put this piece back into there, it'll look stupid. Well, I think it'll look stupid either way.
Won't be the first time it looks stupid, dumbass.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going with it though. Hey, dear poor cable, when bolts randomly fall out of the bottom of your table saw, it kind of worries me. Just a little bit. I mean, I'm not too concerned, especially the fact that I'm in the middle of a freaking extremely expensive cut and this random piece falls out. Where the fuck, you son of a bitch? Oh, that was a screw I put on.
Hey, settle down in there, fellas, while I'm working in here.
Thank God. This last board that I have to cut, put the groove in, when I ripped it, I don't know what the terminology is, but it released on itself, basically.
Kind of like that time you released on that girl's peanuts.
And now it's got a huge crown in it. It was freaking perfectly straight when I first started with it. Alright, so this is that board that's really crowned pretty bad. So I'm going to take, I don't know if this is the best way to fix this, but I'm going to take a scrap piece. I'm going to put it on there. Yes, I'm going to end up with a screw hole right here, but so I'm just going to take my power planer and I'm going to try to get this straight with this, or at least close enough. It's real high in the middle, so I'm going to start 1/3 in and stop 1/3, and then I'll go a little farther every time until I bring this middle section down. So I brought this down to basically about a 1/16 inch away from this. Now I'm just going to set this depth.
I'm not going to say it again. Now settle the f down.
Real shallow, and I'm going to do a full length on the whole thing. Now that this piece is straight, I'll take this off. I'll put my groove in it. Then I can take apart my dado stack and I will re-rip this piece to the correct width so that
is it. I am coming in there.
So that this piece on this side's running straight too. And I'll also have to rip that other one now because these are going to be different thicknesses and I don't want that to happen. So now all my dados are cut. I checked to make sure every single one of them was good and that this was tight inside of there. Had a scrap piece of 3/4. So now I can take this off and set my saw back up with just a one single blade so I can rip this to the correct length and re-rip that one so they're both the same. Alright, so I set my single blade back in there. So this is the piece that I had planed, so I'm just going to check in the middle because that's going to be the smallest point right here, and I got like 5 1/4. So I'm going to set this blade to about 5 3/16. I'm going to do the same process. I'm going to check the front and the back because this isn't top-notch equipment. And I'm going to saw this one again.
Safety police, please let him know of your safety concerns in the comment below.
Now you can see I got about a 1/4 inch here. Right in the middle, it's real thin. About a 1/4 inch here. So I believe that board is now running straight. That was a good fix right there. I'm proud of that. So now that I cut this one down, I want to cut the other one to match this width. So I'm going to put the groove against the fence and cut the other one. Probably known by California to cause cancer. So next, we can start working on my mortise and tenons. Next video? Maybe. What do you say? I gotta make a tool for that.
You are a tool.
Peanut, the joke's already been said. You can't use it twice.
Tool.
Alright guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. In the next video, like I said, I'll be making a sled to make my tenons on these. Yes, that's a mortise and that's a tenon. I still don't know the terminology. If you like this series so far, make sure you go and check out my Patreon account. $1 a month would be great. $5 a month would be amazing. And all that support will go back into possibly a second build. I'm not sure yet. I don't want to make any promises, but I kind of already did promise that. But I'm going to try to do something with that. I won't go and spend it on cheap hookers and cocaine. I don't do that. But I'll be using it to make videos. There we go. That's what I'll be doing. All that money will go back into camera stuff. No, not camera stuff. All that money will go back into making these videos, which takes hours and 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 hours. Make sure you leave your questions down below because I'll be doing a Q&A at the end of this series. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. If you like the video a lot, make sure you share it to your favorite social media like Facebook. That's a good one. Facebook, I mean, that's good. They'll click on the link and it'll bring in new people, you know? And then make sure you add like a caption like, you got to go follow this guy. He's an idiot. Like, that's perfect. I'll take idiot all day long. Dumbass, idiot, whatever. Okay, thank you. Man, it's so cold. It's freezing. It's winter. Okay, it's winter. And my house is not insulated. I'd say I'd go inside to get warm, but it's just as cold in there that it is out here. Why don't you hook up your propane wood stove? Because it sucks. I hooked it up. It sucks. I did a video on it and it sucks, so I won't be releasing that video because a wood stove on a tiny house is probably the stupidest way of heating a tiny house. It burns for an hour, and then you got to put more wood in it, or an hour and a half. If you're really good, you can get 2 hours out of it, but it doesn't. I want to go to bed, and I want to sleep 8 hours. I want it to burn for 8 hours. A pellet wood stove, maybe, but that's disgusting chemicals. Okay, are we done? Can we be done?